My hopes for Gunbower are that when I come out there in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30 years' time, I'm seeing something that it's at least as good as it is now and hopefully better, because we've continued to deliver environmental water and the plants and animals that rely on that environment have had an opportunity to breed up, and we're seeing larger numbers of birds coming, and we're seeing wetland areas that have recovered from millennium drought and the years of regulation preceding that.
Gunbower Forest is special because it's got the most amazing trees. They're enormous, big branching specimens. They're just beautiful to look at. And I always love to stand there and think about how old they are, and they must have stood there for hundreds of years, and the stories that they have to tell.
Gunbower Forest is incredibly important to the surrounding community. They love going out there, camping, being with their family and friends, fishing, just enjoying being out in nature. And culturally, Gunbower Forest, I just can't imagine what an amazing place it would have been for First People to be living in that place. It would have been incredibly diverse, plentiful, I would think, and just an amazing place to be. There's evidence of that in the landscape everywhere you look.
When I first started at North Central CMA, it was just before the first big commissioning of the Hipwell Road Channel. Despite the floods in 2010 and 11, the forest was pretty crunchy underfoot and it was pretty dry, and so it still really needed help from environmental watering and building infrastructure through the Living Murray program to help us do that. Anna and Katherine, my colleagues, were running around like headless chooks at the time trying to get the Hipwell Road Channel up and running. I was just trying to stay out of their way. But they put in a lot of long hours to make it happen. And thank goodness that they did.
Well, when we water Gunbower, we create a refuge and a connection to the broader landscape for a diversity of plants and animals to thrive. Birds, which are of course mobile, can come in. It's amazing how they can somehow know, even whether it's environmental water or a flood, that they turn up.
We've seen wetland plants flourish in some of the wetlands. Threatened species come back. We've seen small-bodied fish move into the wetlands and live in the lush vegetation. Because they managed to flood the forest in 2014 and 15, and because of the natural flood in 2016 as well, the forest is now showing signs of recovery. There's leaves coming back on the trees after successive floods. The understory has come back. There's now sedges and rushes and reeds where you used to just see nothing really, bare ground.
In terms of the biggest change, it's a forever changing environment, and that's the amazing thing about wetlands, is that they're never the same. They're always going to show you something different, but that's also the challenge in managing them, because you can't set a prescription for this is how exactly we want the site to look, because we don't want it to always look the same. We want that diversity and the change, because it provides different varieties of life with opportunities at different times.
And this is our beloved Reedy Lagoon. Now the mantle falls to me and my team to keep learning about the forest so that when we are delivering environmental water, we're getting the best outcomes for the people who care about the forest as much as I do. Keep doing our jobs as custodians of this amazing place, and we're not alone. There's the community and there's the traditional owners and there's our partners as well from other agencies, and we all care about this place so much. When you're standing in a wetland and you can see the water coming towards you, and you can see the head of the water trickling towards you, sparkling in the sunlight. It's just the most amazing feeling knowing that you've had a hand in that, and knowing that you're going to, over the following few weeks or months, you're going to see the floodplain come to life. You're going to see the wetlands, wetland plants grow, and coming back 4 months later and seeing a whole diverse flush of vegetation in the wetland, and knowing that it's there because you helped it get there is just amazing. Yeah.